Hello, everybody. I'm Cindy Ellers from Neillsville, Wisconsin, and I am coming to you as we continue our series of A Blast from the Past, stamping techniques. And I just wanted to start a couple minutes early, and hopefully we'll have a great turnout. Oh, hi, Donella. I've been meaning to get in touch with you. I haven't heard from you in a long time. I was wondering if you had maybe, I don't know, went someplace or was doing some traveling or something. So, but anyway, as I continue, I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2012. And if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. Just pop me an email at buddy98@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. What is everybody working on these days? Christmas cards? Christmas presents? If you can see my desk behind me, I've been working on Christmas cards. I have quite a stack here. These right here, I know the words are going to be backwards tonight. It is what it is. And this particular card uses the gorgeous All is Bright Designer Series paper. Just a really simple card. I just thought it just turned out so great. And I also use the Stamparatus. So everything was placed perfectly. I could go and mass produce these cards. Just everything turned out perfect. I just love how these turned out. So of course I forgot to go and put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and of course who decides to call me but my husband. He's in Kansas hunting. And I know, Kelly, what you're going to say. If you watch this, you're going to say, that's the first thing I taught you. And I forgot all about that. Let's see. The Stampin' Up! Special November Snow is glistening. That will be ending the end of November. It has matching thinlets, and so that's just for a short few days left to get in on that special. I really love that stamp set. Oh, let me get it. That would have been here. Here's the stamp set right here. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, another thing I've been doing is I've been making tags for all my Christmas cards. And that I've been using the Santa's Workshop, which is something we're going to be using tonight. So, okay. It's must be 7 o'clock. It's after 7 o'clock. If you would share my video, I would just love it. There's a little share button. If you say hi to me, I know there's another person watching, but I don't know who you are. So there's a few more people. So say hi so I can say hi back to you. And let's see. We've been enjoying A Blast from the Past techniques that I started doing back in 2012. It's been a fun journey reliving these great techniques. The Emboss Resist, the Shaving Cream, the Kissing Technique, the Dryer Sheet, and tonight's technique will be the Suspension technique. I have a technique. Oh, Judy Vine's watching. Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate you popping in on your evening. Our technique class is coming up Monday, December 10th. We'll be doing the Retta form stamping technique. I guess it's been around forever. I've never done it, which is since 2012. It's hard to believe I've never done this technique, but I haven't. We have a kit class Tuesday, December 18th, which is a week early, and the stamp of the month. I'm hoping to do my next Facebook Live on Tuesday, December 11th, which will be faux tile. Okay, now we're going to get started. I am not going to touch my camera except to flip it down. I am done with trying to reposition it. I always touch something. It never works. So I'm just going to flip it down. You will probably notice that all my greetings on my cards are backwards, and I can't help it. It is what it is. So, okay, without further ado, I'm going to flip this down and try not to touch anything. See my table? Okay. All right. I just wanted to share with you some cards that we made last night at our kit class. We made winter-themed cards. So we have these two. We have this one, which this card happens to be the stamp of the month, which was Wishing You Well. Okay. We also made this one. And this one, which uses the snowflake special for November. Okay, as I said, this is the stamp of the month card, and I do have those cards all done. I was told I should show these tonight, so this was the stamp of the month. Here's the first card that I made using the stamp set. Okay, all I did with these were the acrylic or the epoxy droplets, and then I used our stamping blends and colored them. You can color them any color you want. I just love this bow. It's called a distinctive stamp so that it looks like 3D. Okay, here was another one. This stamp can be used as a Christmas stamp, but it can also, you know, Wishing You Well, that could work for birthday. And here's another one. And then here was the last one, which I thought they were all just, I really enjoy. That is one of the things of my job I enjoy are the stamp of the month, because I get to play. And I don't always get to play. So this one was nice. A couple weeks ago we had our technique class. Here are those cards. We did the shimmer paint technique. This is what that looked like. And it uses the Stampin' Up! All-Purpose shimmer. This stuff is great. We just mixed it with alcohol and spritzed it on this card. This card we used a sponge, and after we dry embossed it, we put the shimmer paint on it. It was a lot of fun. And here was our 3D card that we made, and when you open it, this is what it looks like, which I thought that was really pretty cool. So, see what you were missing by not being able to come to class? But I understand. Life gets in the way sometimes, right? So, okay. Now, we are going to get ready. Sandy Schmidt, well, thank you for tuning in, Sandy. I know you're not a card maker, but I still appreciate you stopping in. So, okay, let me get my notes here. That was one nice thing I did back in 2012. I made really good notes, and what we did was, it's called the suspension technique, and we created a suspended card for a special message or image, and after we would decorate it, we would attach to the front of our card. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Okay. We are going to be using the Making Christmas Bright, the sentiment. We also are going to be back 8 years ago. Back 8 years ago, when we would make these techniques, we would have to get different kinds of punches and everything else. And now we don't have to. But what we're going to do is, back then I used 2 different size punches to make the suspended. This time we're just going to use our layering circles to create that look. Okay? All right. So here we go. We're starting out with a garden green base that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at the 4 1/4 mark. Then what I did was take a sheet from the Santa's Workshop, and this paper is so cool because it's flocked. So like his the tassel is flocked. There's so many neat things. The paper I used was the snowman, and if you notice, I cut around them in order to utilize all the different images. And the snowflakes are flocked, and so are the little snowballs, just to give it like a 3D effect. Okay, so what I did was I took my first layering circle and I cut myself a snowman. In fact, I cut 2. I cut 2 snowmen. And then I cut a circle. So what I want to do is take my adhesive and glue it right to, here, I can do it with this one. I want to glue this. This will be the back. Okay. Now I turn it around and I want to glue this one over the top. But before I do, I want to have some dental floss. A good amount. And I'm going to lay it right there. Take a piece of tape and I'm going to put that right here. And I want to make sure it's nice and firm, so I'll add one more piece of tape just to make it nice and firm. I don't want it slipping out, right? Okay. Now, back to this at hand. And tape there. Just like that. I'll hold it in place for a little bit. Okay, so now my dental floss is holding my snowman. Okay, now, all right. I'm going to use the back side of one of the sheets of paper, and that's my inside. I'm going to take a little piece of snail adhesive and just put a little bit right here and position it right on my card, right? It's just a temporary thing. I don't want it to be permanent. Now, my layering circles, as you can see, this one was the smaller one that I used to cut out my snowman. I'm going to take the bigger one, put it right about there. That's where I want it. I didn't pre-cut it because I wanted to show you how I positioned it. So just bear with me a second while I cut it out on my Big Shot. Okay, so there it is. And as you can see, I now have it all cut out. Okay? All right, now going to take this off very gently. Okay. Now, take your snowman. Let's take a couple pieces of tape. Maybe it would show up better on my dark desk. I'm thinking it will. Whoops. There. We have to have the dental floss so I can actually see it. And we'll put our tape right about there. Ah, it came loose again. I want it to stay right about there. And put our tape right there. And I'm holding it real tight. Put the other piece of tape right like that, okay? Now we're going to take our layer. Let's add some two-way glue. And put that right over like that. Okay. Okay, and take our scissors. Snip that off. Snip that off. Okay. So now we'll just put that right there. We're gonna go and take our ink, our greeting. Like I said, if you haven't realized that by now, everything's going to look backwards to you. But as you can see, I didn't lose you, and I didn't have any other issues. And I guess it is what it is. I guess I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm going to take my punch, and even though it's smaller, you can still position it. And let's just do this side too. There, I like that. And I need a dimension, which I forgot to have ready, but that's okay. Well, we'll put a couple of on. And put this right here. I mean, you really, now to do this technique, I thought, oh my gosh, it's so easy. I don't know how I managed to do it back then, but what I did also was, I mentioned before that the snowflakes are flocked. So I just cut out a couple, and I want to put a snowflake right here. And another little snowflake right there. And a couple of little snowballs, which I thought were appropriate, like that. That's the front of the card. That's it. Now, let's stamp the inside. This red and white paper, the white is all flocked. So this has been a very fun set of paper. I wasn't going to order it. I really wasn't, but I've seen so many neat things made with it, I couldn't resist. I always like to decorate the insides, and okay, yes, all right. And then this finishes our card. That's it. Oh, and also, when you go and put this card in the envelope, you're supposed to wind this up. Okay? So you wind it up a little bit. When the person gets the card and then they open it, see it twirls. So that's the whole idea of the suspension technique. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you'd even consider making it yourself. As you can see, it was a very easy card to make. And this video will be available on my blog, along with the dimensions, the paper I used, and everything else. I hope, I'll turn it upside down. Maybe that makes it better for you. I hope you enjoyed my video. I appreciate you stopping in and taking time out of your busy day to join me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it and want to come back again. So, thank you, everybody.